boys and girls. Today I'm going to read you an assortment of books that you can listen to when you need some quiet time. I'm going to start with one called When I Visit the Farm. When I visit the farm, I feel as free as a dandelion seed. I have all the space in the world to spread my wings. I love to feel the cool, clean grass between my toes. I visit my many animal friends. The Jersey cow stretches her neck to say, hello. I touch a nose soft as velvet. Warm breath fills my hands. Sometimes I play follow the leader with the ducklings. I pretend to be a mother to these young gooselings. I make the perfect nest for some tiny golden chicks. Sometimes I dream that I am drifting as high as the trees. What would I see? My friend, the chipmunk? A nest of robin's eggs as blue as the sky? I meet a new friend, an old hen who lives near the barn. She too has a dream. To know what it's like to be free. What is your dream? And that is the end. Okay, so the next story I'm going to read is, or actually this one I'm going to sing. This is Puff the Magic Dragon. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff rolled out his name. Oh, Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so little girls and boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and puffed that mighty dragon. Well, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. And that is the end. So the final book I'm going to read is called Just Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. It was a mixed up sort of morning. No particular reason. I was just feeling a little annoyed. Big feelings and small feelings were whirling around in my head, and it made me feel bad. Have you ever felt that way before? It seemed like a tricky sort of feeling to get out of. I tried banging my fists, walking around in circles and shouting at the clouds. None of this worked. Then the most peculiar thing happened. One of the clouds smiled at me, and it started to talk. Now I know, just like anyone else, the clouds don't usually talk. So I thought that whatever it had to say was probably quite important. It asked me to sit down, so I did. And what it said after that actually turned into the most wonderful thing I would ever hear. You could listen too, if you'd like. Just breathe. And so I did. Listen to your breathing. Put your hands in your tummy. You feel it grow big like a balloon. Then feel it relax and get smaller. Notice your warm hands resting on it. You can close your eyes if you want to. Feel a warm yellow light filling your whole body, starting from the top of your head, down past your cheeks, your shoulders, give them a little shake, down past your bottom, your legs, your knees, and out of your wiggly toes. This cloud was very clever. I was already starting to feel a lot better. Although, while I was trying to think of my breathing, mixed up feelings started bouncing around in my head. It's all right, said the wise cloud. If you feel something, it's okay. Let the feeling pop in for a visit, feel it, but then let it go. Let it fly away and get on with its day. Then quietly go back to thinking of your hands on your tummy and your breathing. I did, and I took another slow, long breath and made sure to feel every little part of my body. Now, said the cloud, let's try something fun. Notice where your body is touching the ground, and notice how the ground is holding you up, so strong and solid. Did you know that the ground you're sitting on is actually your very tiny section of the earth? Now imagine the earth floating in space with you sitting on it. Notice that every twinkling star around you is showering you with joy, with a warm, peaceful feeling that everything is just fine, because it is. Just sit a while and smile. at the stars. Now slowly come back to your hands on your tummy. And if you feel ready, start to notice all the sounds in the room around you. What can you hear? Notice where the air touches your cheeks and your hands. And notice your body. How do your shoulders feel? How are your knees? Wiggle your fingers and your toes. How do you feel? Asked the clouds. I looked around my body. I stretched my arms out wide, and I beamed up at the cloud. I feel good, wise cloud. I feel very good. And the best thing about the things that the wise cloud told me, I can feel that feeling whenever I like. If my feelings get mixed up, and they do a lot, the world is a mixed up sort of place. I just need to remember to put my hands on my belly and breathe and notice how my body feels. Then the joy comes back and everything is just fine. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed these stories and you had a moment just to relax and be quiet. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.